Welcome to the Sports Performance Analysis for Soccer Player. Soccer is a dynamic team sport played globally, emphasizing skills, teamwork, and athleticism. Soccer players require a combination of technical proficiency, cardiovascular endurance, agility, and strength. Understanding the physiological demand and physical characteristics of soccer players is crucial for optimizing performance and preventing injuries. Soccer involves a variety of movements including sprinting, jogging, change of direction, jumping, and kicking. Player must exhibit agility, quick acceleration and deceleration, as well as the ability to move in multiple planes. Physical demands, endurance. Players cover significant distance during a match, requiring high aerobic capacity, speed, and agility. Quick changes in direction and rapid acceleration are essential for both offensive and defensive players. Strength and power. Players need strength for physical challenge and power for activities like shooting and jumping. Flexibility. Soccer involves a wide range of movement requiring good flexibility. Physiological demands, aerobic endurance. Players must sustain high intensity activity for the duration of the match. Anaerobic power, quick bursts of maximal efforts are needed for sprints, tackles, and shots. Lactate threshold. Soccer players often operate near their lactate threshold due to intermittent nature of sport. Normative data VO2 max ranges from 50 to 70 ml per kg per minute for elite male players. Sprint speed varies by playing position with forward typical exhibition higher sprint speed. Common limitations for soccer player. First is injury risk. Soccer players are prone to injuries, especially lower limb injuries. Fatigue. Managing fatigue during a match or across a session is a constant challenge. And third is mental stress. High pressure situations can impact decision making and performance. The Y balance test is designed to assess dynamic balance, flexibility, and functional stability in soccer players. This test is crucial for evaluating a player's ability to maintain balance during dynamic movements, mimicking the demands of soccer action, such as changes of direction, cutting, and landing after jumps. Equipments used for these tests are Y-Balance Test Kit. This includes a specialized platform with three directional reach indicators from forming a Y shape. Second is measuring taper marker to ensure consistent reach distance and to measure the results accurately. Third is flat surface. The test is typically performed on a flat and stable surface such as a gym floor or soccer field. Procedure for these tests are set up. The players stand in the center of the white balance test kit with one foot of on the central starting point. Second is reach directionals. The player performs single leg reach in three directional anterior means forward, posterior medial, back and to the side, and posterior lateral, back and to the other side. Reach distance. The player reaches as far as possible along each directional reach indicator while maintaining balance. The reach distance is recorded at the point where the player can no longer maintain balance or when the heel lifts off the ground. And last is repetition. The test is repeated for both legs, providing a comprehensive assessment of dynamic balance on each side. Assessment rationale. Dynamic balance. The Y balance test assesses a player's ability to maintain balance during dynamic movements crucial for action like cutting, dribbling, and landing safely after jumps. Functional stability. The test evaluates the stability of the lower extremities in various planes of motion, providing insights into a player's ability to control movement during soccer specific action. And third is injury risk identification. Asymmetric or limitation in reach distance may indicate potential areas of injury risk or muscular imbalance that could impact performance. Organization and tailoring. First is individualized training. Based on assessment results, players can undergo targeted training to address any identified weakness in dynamic balance and stability. Second is integration into training routine. The Y balance test can be incorporated into regular training sessions, serving as both an assessment tool and a dynamic warm up exercise. Third is progress tracking. Periodic reassessment allows coaches to track improvements in dynamic balance and identify any emerging issue that may need attention. Fourth is injury prevention. By identifying asymmetries or limitations early on, coaches and sports scientists can design injury prevention program tailored to the specific needs of each player. Fifth is game specific application. The Y balance test is particularly relevant for soccer due to its focus on dynamic stability, aligning with the ability and movement patterns required in the sports. Sleeper stretch test for soccer players. The purpose of this test is designed to assess shoulder internal rotation, flexibility, and identify potential limitations in the range of motion for soccer players. This test is crucial for evaluating the mobility of the shoulder joint, which is essential for various soccer movements, including throwing, passing, and defending. Equipments used in these tests are mat or flat surface to ensure a comfortable and stable surface for the player. Second is assistant or partner. A second person is needed to assist in positioning and stabilize the player during the test. And third is goniometer. A goniometer may be used to measure the angle of internal rotation, providing quantitative data on shoulder flexibility. Procedure for these tests are set up. The player lies on their side on a flat surface. The lower arm is positioned perpendicular to the body with the elbow band at 90 degree. Second is testing shoulder internal rotation. The assistant or partner gently applies pressure to the player's wrist, guiding the hand downward towards the surface. Third is measure internal rotation angle. If a goniometer is used, it is placed on a back of the hand to measure the angle of internal rotation. And fourth is repetition. The test can be repeated on the both shoulder to assess the internal rotation flexibility on each side. Assessment rationale. First is shoulder mobility. The sleeper stretch test specifically assess the internal rotation range of motion in the shoulder joint, providing insights into the player's shoulder mobility. Second is throwing and passing ability. Soccer players frequently use their shoulders in throwing, passing, and overhead movement. Limited internal rotation could impact the accuracy and force of these actions. Third is injury prevention. Adequate shoulder mobility is crucial for injury prevention, as limitations in range of motion may contribute to overuse injuries or compensatory movements. Organization and tailoring. First is individualized stretching program. Based on the assessment results, player with limited internal rotation can incorporate specific stretches and exercise to improve shoulder mobility. Second is pre-training warm-up. The sleeper stretch can be included in the warm-up routine, ensuring that players address shoulder flexibility before engaging in soccer-specific activities. Third is regular monitoring. Periodic reassessment allows coaches and medical staff to monitor changes in shoulder flexibility over time and adjust intervention accordingly. Fourth is integration into rehabilitation. For players recovering for shoulder injuries or surgeries, the slipper stretch can be integrated into rehabilitation programs so restore and maintain shoulder mobility. Fifth is game specific application. The sleeper stretch is tailored to soccer by focusing on shoulder movement commonly used in the sports, making it a relevant assessment of soccer player. Vertical jump with landing test. The vertical jump with landing test assess a soccer player's explosive power, lower limb strength, and ability to control the landing, a crucial aspect in soccer where players often need to jump for headers, control the ball in midair, or land safely after aerial duels. Equipments, vertec or jump mat to measure the height of the jump. A vertec is a vertical jump measurement device with adjustable vents, while a jump mat is a pressure sensitive mat that calculate jump height based on the force applied. Second is flat surface, a stable and flat surface for testing. Third is marker or tap to mark the takeoff and landing positions. Procedure for these tests are preparation. The player stands on the flat surface with feet shoulder width apart. Second is jump execution. On command, the player performs a maximum vertical jump reaching as high as possible. Arms can either swing freely or be used in a counter movement fashion depending on the desired protocol. Third is landing control. After reaching the peak height, the player lands on both feet. The emphasis is on controlling the landing to mimic game situation. Fourth is measurement. The jump height is measured from the highest point reached during the jump. Landing mechanics can be visually assessed for control and stability. And fifth is repetition. The test can be repeated for multiple trials and the best jump height is recorded. Assessment rationale. First is explosive power. Measures the player's ability to generate explosive power in the lower limbs essential for action like sprinting, jumping, and changing direction. Second is landing control. Assess the player's ability to control the landing, crucial for injury prevention and avoiding excessive stress on the lower limbs. And third is game specific movement. Vertical jumping is relevant to soccer action such as heading, reaching for high balls, and executive aerial challenges. Organization and tailoring. First is injury risk assessment. Observing landing mechanics helps identify potential issue related to stability and control, offering insights into injury risk. Second is individualized training. Players with suboptimal landing control or lower jump heights can undergo targeted strength and stability training. Third is integration into training routine. The test can be integrated into regular training session, providing an opportunity for players to practice and improve explosive power and landing control. Fourth is progress tracking. Periodic reassessment allows coaches to track improvement in jump heights and landing mechanism, guiding adjustment in training intervention. And fifth is performance optimization. By tailoring training programs based on the results, coaches can work on enhancing the player's lower limb power and ensuring safe and controlled landing. Soccer throw-in test. It's also called as medicine ball throw for soccer players. The soccer throw-in test utilizing a medicine ball throws assess a soccer player's upper body strength and power, particularly relevant for the explosive throwing movement required during throw-ins. This test helps evaluate a player's ability to generate force in the upper body, essential for accurate and powerful throws in. Equipments. Medicine ball, a weighted ball sustained overhead throwing, like example 3 or 5 kg. Flat surface, a stable and flat surface for testing. Third is measuring tape or distance markers to measure the distance the medicine ball is thrown. Fourth is marker or tape to mark the starting points for consistent testing. Procedure setup. The players stand with feet shoulder width apart at the starting point. Starting position. The player holds the medicine ball overhead, preparing for the throw. Third is throwing phase. On command, the player explosively throws the medicine ball forward for maximum distance. The throw should involve the entire body, including a powerful leg drive and upper body rotation. Landing techniques. After the throw, the player maintains balance and control. Excessive steps or movements post throw should be avoided. Measurements. The distance the medicine ball travels is measured for the starting point to point where it first contracts the ground. Repetition. The test can be repeated for multiple trials and the best throw distance is recorded. Assessment rationale. Upper body power. The soccer throw-in test assessed the explosive power of the upper body, specifically relevant for the force generation needed during throw-ins. Throwing ability. This test mimics the throwing action involved in soccer, providing insights into a player's ability to generate force or accurate and forceful throw-ins. Game-specific movements. The test directly relates to the throwing movement required during throw-ins, making it game-specific and relevant for soccer players.